Hey, everybody. I am so excited to be here today to share with you guys an amazing and inspiring story from one of my students at Social Media United. Felicia is someone who was working full-time as a teacher, which is so exciting and so cool. But she had this desire to do something different, to ultimately leave her 9 to 5 and become a full-time social media manager. She is known as the social media fixer, and she has in fact left her 9 to 5 and is working full-time in social media management. Felicia, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited you're here. So one of the things I would love is if you could give us a little bit of the backstory of how you became a social media manager from being a teacher, because that's really different.
Yeah. So I actually have quite a bit of a long journey. A couple years back, I had my second baby. Her name's Charlotte, and she's adorable. And I just wanted to stay home with her really bad, like really, really bad. And I had to go back to work, and it was heartbreaking for me. So then that's when I started to explore like online business models, because I knew I just wanted to stay home with my babies because I felt like they needed me. And so I tried a lot of different things. I tried blogging, and I realized I don't like to write, duh. And I tried some direct sales, and that just wasn't in complete alignment. And then through doing everything, I realized I'm like, well, I like playing around on social media, and I know social media management's a thing. So let me start poking around. And when I searched groups, I just searched social media manager to see what would come up, and you popped up. So long story short, I searched, I dove in, I did the work, and it was time to go.
That's so crazy. You make it sound like it was so easy, but the reality is there was a process for you, right? Like you had to refine that source of strength a couple of times during that journey. How long, just remind me, how long was it from the time you joined Social Media United to leaving your 9 to 5? What was that process like for you?
Okay, so I joined SMU when it was $1 trial for the month. So it was December. And at that time, I had invested in some other courses that got me to where I needed, got me places, but it just wasn't exactly what I needed. And then at that point, I was like, I shouldn't be investing in anything else. But I was like, I have to take a chance on myself. And it was scary. And I just got to the point where I was like, I have to do this. So I joined SMU at the end of December, and I put in my resignation paperwork last month in May.
Congratulations. That's so exciting. Now, you shared one of the moments that made you realize, like, I need something different. And it was actually really similar, Felicia, to my moment where I knew I needed to leave the 9 to 5. If you're not familiar with my story, I was written up for missing work when my daughter was sick, and it made me really angry. And I just felt like I need something of my own. And for you, it was, I need to spend more time with my kids. I want to be around them. I want to be more present, right?
Mm-hmm. And actually, back, I think it was February, I got written up for taking my daughter to the doctor.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that the worst?
Yeah, it's like, what? Hey, my baby's come first. Show me where to sign.
And no apologies for that. So one of the questions I have is, as you were in your 9 to 5, you're starting this side gig. And anyone who's ever, if you're watching this or listening to this, you can, raise your hand or comment on this live. If you're listening to this on the podcast, you can just acknowledge it in your car or in your head or whatever. When you're building a side business while in a 9 to 5, it is intense.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about what that process was like for you and how you found strength to keep on going.
So as you said, like, I'm a teacher, and like the current climate with teaching is pretty negative right now. And the environment can be negative just with parents and stuff like that, just the daily stuff that you have to do. So what I had to do, and this was like no choice, I had to take myself out of that realm as much as I could. So on my way to work, I would listen to podcasts and audiobooks. And so my focus would be on the audiobooks in my business as opposed to, I gotta go to work. Oh my God. So I'd get to work, I'd put on my music, and I'd be working. As soon as lunch hit, I never sat in the teacher's lounge actually. And I mean, I like people, but I just couldn't keep talking about the job and being in the job. So I'd stay in my classroom my entire lunch. So I was kind of a bit of a loner, but it helped me get out of that headspace of teaching into the headspace of my job. So I do some work, do some learning on my lunch. I even took a couple discovery calls on my lunch break. And then as soon as I left, at the end of the day, I was back listening to audiobooks. So I was able to pull myself out of that negativity as much as I could. So right after work, and I live in Nevada, so I'm Pacific Standard Time. So it's kind of difficult. So I do discovery calls right after work, and I'm like the last time zone. So anybody on the East Coast, they're like, do you have earlier times? I'm like, I can do it at like 4:00 in the morning, my time. So I even took discovery calls before I got up for work and before my girls got up too. So I just filled my head as much as possible with business and the things that were like that I felt passionate about to stay out of that negativity. Because like being in it, you're so consumed with it, it's too hard to get out of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. And if you're listening to this, it's crazy how you can kind of come up with that grit and that tenacity for a period of time. It's just a season. And I remember you asking, I think it was, I want to say 2 months ago, it might've been 1 or 2 months ago. Everything's a blur after having Dominic. So, but you asked me like, am I going to have to be putting in like tons of hours for a while? Am I going to be working basically 2 full-time jobs? And I was real with you about it. And I said, kinda, yeah, there's going to be a sprinting period. What was it that reminded you like the end is in sight? Or what wins did you have where you said, I think I can really do this?
My first win was when I got my first client. It was a very low client, but I told my husband, I was like, I got my first client because I had so many discovery calls and I didn't know what I was doing. And I told my husband I got my first client, and he kind of looked at me and I could see the realization on his face, like, this is happening. You're making it happen. And I was like, oh my God, I'm making this happen. And then as slowly as I took on more clients, I was oh my gosh. It's like once you get that first client, it's game over from there. It really is. Absolutely.
And since taking on more clients and being able to leave your 9 to 5, what was it about social media that just like lit you up? What was it that you loved about social media for, working with clients?
I love like the design and just trying different things. And I love software. Like I've always been interested in computers and software and trying new things on social media. I think that's so exciting. Anytime like somebody's like, oh, well, the software I'm using is Squarespace and I'm using ActiveCampaign and I've never used it before, but that's so exciting. I'm like, yes, something new I get to learn. Like, I love that. It breaks up the monotony and like that constant learning is scary, but it's exciting for me.
And since you're someone who's so excited by it, I'm the same way. I geek out over what I can do differently, what I can try, if there's a new gadget or tool, that's out and it makes my life easier and my clients' lives better. So since you're passionate about it, there are a lot of business owners who don't love social media. They need that support, but they're like, I don't love doing this. So tell me a little bit, Felicia, about like your dream clients. Who are those people that you love to serve?
I love those entrepreneurs that are killing it in their business, but they just don't like social media. And I get it because there's certain things that I don't like either. And to take that on for them is so exciting because I get to support them in their business. And I always tell my clients, it's like, when you win, I win because we're doing this together. So it's so exciting to see like growth on their platforms while they're doing the business tasks that they like. And I get to do what I like.
I love that so much. When you win, I win. That is like one of the best attitudes I've ever heard about clients and what that relationship looks like. So one of the questions I have is, where can people learn more about you if they're interested in potentially hiring you for social media or for a consulting call?
Yeah. So my business page is the Social Media Fixer. So at the Social Media Fixer, I will pop up. Right now, I'm revamping my website because I have the time now. So that is under construction as we speak. But also I have a group called the Social Fix. And the link to it is www.thesocialfixgroup.com. And that is where I share with other women that are in their 9 to 5 how they can build a service-based business using social media. Because even some people that I worked with asked me what I was doing. They're like, what are you doing? And this was an old group that I had. So I changed the direction of it just so I could share with other women how I did it so they can do it for themselves as well.
I love that so much. So one question I have is, if someone's on the fence about becoming a social media manager, or they've seen the ads for the $1 trial for Social Media United, what would you say to them?
I would say go for it. I mean, everybody has $1 to spend. Now, at the time when I was like on the fence, I was still going to Starbucks. Like I was like, oh, I'm going to Starbucks. I mean, it's $1. Hop in, see what's there, and see if it's for you. Because I think that I haven't seen anything like it, and I've been around the Facebook block, and I've seen different things. $1 trial is like almost unheard of. And when I saw it, I was like, I mean, I can't not spend $1. I go to Starbucks.
I love that.
Do it.
And for those people who are still in their 9 to 5 feeling like, oh my gosh, is this something that can ever happen for me? Is there a way I can leave my 9 to 5? Is there a way that I can, make it through that tough season of balancing a side business and a 9 to 5? What advice would you have for them, Felicia?
My advice is, at least this is what I told myself, is I had no choice. Because, you get to the point where you're just so miserable, and I would come home and I didn't have any energy for my girls, and they deserve more than that. And I just didn't have a choice. And I started to implement those strategies to pull myself out of it to get the work done. And I'm nothing special. Like, anybody can do what I did. Like, I'm really not like, there's women out there that probably have a stronger work ethic than me, that are better with systems and software, that they can do it too. And I always tell women that approach me about it, it's like, you can do it. You just have to believe in yourself. If no one else does, you have to believe in yourself and do it for your family.
I love that so much. And you did it for your family, which is so exciting. And the coolest part about it is knowing that this is just the beginning of a journey. Even though in some ways it feels like the end of this big conquest to leave your 9 to 5, this is just the beginning, which is so exciting. And I'm honestly so excited to watch you and encourage you as you continue to grow over this next year and the next couple of years.
Thank you so much. I mean, it's been an honor working with you and being in your course. Like, I can't even tell you how much you've changed my life.
Thank you so much. Well, you heard it here. Felicia Wright is the social media fixer. She was a full-time teacher who left her 9 to 5 and ended up working with clients. And she is just getting started on this amazing journey. If you're interested in contacting her, she's easy to be found. Can you share that URL or the link one more time so I can put it on the screen for anyone? Or if you're listening to the podcast, they can hear it again and easily find more information about you.
Yeah, my group is www.socialfixgroup.com, and you can find my business page at The Social Media Fixer.
I love it so much. So Felicia, thank you so much for joining me today. This has been just wonderful. You are seriously a delight. And if you are on the fence about joining Social Media United, it's $1. And Felicia made a great point. It's Starbucks. It's less than Starbucks. So it's $1 to join, and who knows what could be waiting on the other side of your journey. So to join Social Media United for just $1 and possibly start an amazing journey like Felicia's, like mine, like so many other people who have gone before you and actually achieved it, you can go to www.smutrial.com. Felicia, you're amazing and wonderful. Thank you.